It's been a long time since I've made a What's Your Opinion video, hasn't it? For those who don't remember, you leave a comment on this video, and in about a week I make a video going over the comments that I thought really stood out or brought up something interesting. So with that little catch-up done, let's get to the topic. One night while playing Mario Party with some friends, a thought came to me. Sure, DLC would be great for superstars, even 3 years later, and having more of the previous boards back would make sense. But what about future games? It feels like we've been to nearly every kind of map idea we can have. What else can they do? And that's when an idea came to me. What if they made a game where the maps were based on other Nintendo properties? And no, this wouldn't be a Super Smash Mario Party. You'll understand as we go along. Then I worried too much about how to present this video visually, slept on it for too long, and then this rumor showed up. Kinda took the wind out of my sails, but that is entirely on me for taking too long. Well, I'm just gonna make this as simplistic and straightforward as possible, stop trying to make a visual for every idea, and just put this out there and not have this lingering in my mind anymore. So let's pretend I got this video out about 11 months ago, around the time I actually had it. The boards could be based on some of the obvious ones: Mushroom Kingdom, Yoshi's Island, Luigi's Mansion, Donkey Kong Country, and I have no idea what direction they would go with regarding Wario, but my guess would be WarioWare. But that's not all, we could have maps based on the other in-house Nintendo properties. This, however, would not include Intelligent Systems, HAL Laboratories, Monolith Soft, Game Freak, etc., as we would need to get the permission slips to get the likeliness of those franchises they normally work on, with the exception of possibly Intelligent Systems for WarioWare. So we're just going to keep it simple for now, which leaves us with maps that could be based on Zelda, Metroid, Star Fox, Pikmin, Splatoon, F-Zero, and Animal Crossing. Notice I said maps, not characters. In fact, the idea here is not to use characters from those franchises, outside of the ones who have already been in Mario Party. Instead, it would be more fun to do what Mario Party 2 did, and have them in costumes that resemble characters from those series. DK in a Goron outfit, Mario in a Captain Falcon suit, everyone in a spacesuit for Pikmin with a little antenna on top. The maps themselves wouldn't even have the same style as the games they're from. They'd look like they were recreated from the Mario series, so it would be all these places in the style of a Mario Party board, which means it wouldn't be them crossing over, just everyone having a fun time playing pretend. And not just for the playable characters, but the NPCs as well, such as Toad dressed up like a Kokiri on the Zelda map, or Sheldon on the Splatoon map. Even Bowser would be doing this as well. He could even be poking fun at some stuff, like having him dressed up as King Boo on Luigi's Mansion, and having him think to himself, "Why do I feel like I was downgraded to subordinate?" Or dressed up like Ganon on the Zelda map, and his pig nose mask keeps falling off. You could also have the maps play into this by allowing some of them to have different rules or different mechanics. Here's a couple of examples. On the Splatoon map, the coins are the amount of paint you have. You spend that ink to cover blank spaces, and whoever has the most spaces at the end wins, much like a game of Splatoon. Landing on your own space can give you some extra coins, and landing on an opponent's space will either reduce your next roll, or you can pay extra to take the space for yourself. A bit like Monopoly, but with minigames. This could even be a first for the series, where the board can be a strict 2 versus 2 map. Now, this has kind of been done on the dual maps where you have your own spaces, but there's a number of differences here, such as it's the spaces you need to win, and you have to pay for them. That's just one board. Others can lean more to the other aspects of their games, like Donkey Kong Country. And no, I do not count this as a DKC map, just a generic jungle with DK hosting it. You have the coins or bananas, and stars are the DK coins, but there would be secret paths that change locations every time you play it. You could be asked to pay a certain amount of coins to check, and if there's a bonus barrel, then you get a chance to win extra bananas in a minigame and a shortcut to a different part of the map, usually a little closer to the DK coin location. If there isn't a bonus barrel, then you just lost some coins. So it becomes a high-risk, high-reward map. The Zelda one, I have an idea, but I can't quite finalize it. Rupees are coins and Triforce pieces are stars, but the board would have warp points, taking you to, well, the map is identical, but it's basically either the future, the Dark World, the Twilight Realm? I'm not entirely sure which is better, but it's where things have changed drastically. You might be able to find some really good items there for a cheaper price, along with more red spaces, Bowser spaces, battle minigames, and the dreaded chance time. So another high-risk, high-reward situation. Does what I'm saying make sense so far? I hope so. Admittedly, the Metroid map I wasn't quite sure of since the series is tonally different from the Mario series. The best one I could think of is if it's loosely based on the research facility for Metroid Fusion without the rotting zombies and such. You'd have these different little environments where you could see creatures from the series there, but every once in a while the SAX, or for a better visual fit, an Emmy would randomly show up in one of the sections, and if you're in its path, then you're going back to start with 20 less coins.
But Emmys aren't in.
I know! That's why I said loosely based, not entirely based. For Star Fox, you could have it where parts of the map are based on the planets, and every once in a while, they would come under attack. Defeat them in a minigame to earn extra coins. The trick here is that these events and the star locations would not be next to each other, and you'll have to decide which one you want more. Or whichever is closer. The planets will be on a set path, but there will be times where a warp point opens up, but its destination is always fixed. Animal Crossing! I don't know much about that one, so I'll leave that up to you guys. F-Zero! Now this is going to be a very different idea. On this map, you go around the track however many times you set for it. First one to finish all the laps wins. So basically the laps are your stars, but your coins act as a health meter, which can also be used to give you boost power. By that, I mean it can give you more numbers on the dice roll on every turn. 1 coin equals 1 extra space for up to 10 extra spaces. But if you run out of coins, you'll be stuck for 2 turns, so use them wisely. Of course, to make sure you can't just land wherever you want, you have to pay for the extra spaces first, then roll the dice. There would also be boost panels on the map, but careful, you might accidentally skip over them. Now obviously you don't want to spend too much and you drastically want to stay away from all the red spaces, but if Bowser shows up and takes coins from players, he'll make sure you have at least 1 coin remaining if he takes more than you have. Otherwise that just kind of feels completely unfair, even for Mario Party standards. There could even be shortcuts involving ramps, but you need to have a certain number of spaces in order to clear them. Pikmin would have a day and night cycle where some paths will be safe during the day, but at night you'll be chased away by powerful enemies. And this idea just came to me when editing the video. A map loosely based on Balloon Fight, but it acts like Snowflake Lake from Mario Party 6, where you try to steal all the other players' balloons instead of buying them. The balloons being the stars in this one, obviously. So yeah, even the retro games that we haven't seen in years could be a part of this as well. Another idea was on every board we could bring back item minigames and duel minigames, but they're all based on the franchises, such as shoot down the most enemies on Metroid or Star Fox, or dig up the most treasure on Pikmin or Animal Crossing. The minigames you normally get after everyone has taken a turn could also have a few direct influences from those games as well, and they don't even have to be tethered to a specific board. It would make sense if they did, but that would be too many minigames to come up with. Whew, I'm glad to finally get this out of my head. If that Mario platforming crossover is real, then I think it could work, but I believe doing that for Mario Party feels like it brings a more fun, lighthearted approach to the concept. Remember, this is not a leak or a rumor, just an idea I had. And now I'd like to see if you have any thoughts about this, as well as any ideas about what boards or minigames or the other Nintendo games they could use for it. You could also ask any questions or concerns you may have regarding this, and I can try and address those in the video, as I don't want to respond to any comments here. That would ruin the fun of the comments video. Let me know down below in the comments what you think, and in about a week or so, I'll make a follow-up to this video going over your comments. At least the ones that actually offer something regarding this idea, or any questions you might have. And with that said, I'll see you guys in another video. Later, everyone!